Hi friends, thank you for joining me here on this video. This is my review of the Sunday afternoon part 2 of the Jehovah's Witness Convention 2020. Always rejoice. If you've not seen my previous reviews of the Friday, Saturday and Sunday morning, I will drop a link in the description box below. If this is your first time here to my channel, then welcome. It's great to have you. Please hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload another video. And if you've been here before, then it's fantastic to have you back. Okay, so I'm reviewing the Sunday afternoon part 1 of the convention. Now, traditionally Sunday afternoons were very much kept for the drama, and it's no different here. And this is part 2 of the Nehemiah drama. As I watched it, there wasn't a huge amount for me to pick up on, unlike in all the other videos, but there were just a couple of things that I'm going to go through with you. The afternoon session starts off with a video presentation that we're invited to watch. So let's just have a little look at that.
왕국 통치의 표징 분명하니 모두에게 전하여라. 머리 들고 나아가는 여호와 바라보며
떨지 말고 힘을 내라.
일어나서 큰 목소리로 함께 하느님 찬송하여라. 기뻐하고 감사드리며 모두 하느님 찬양하라. God is free, He may be His eyes. 그가갑이 와야 나는 메시아야.
Now, when I was growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, and I believe it's still the same today, we were always constantly told that we are separate from the world. We're in the world, but we are no part of it. We're very separate. And as such, in order to stand out, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays, Christmases, or other festivals and festivities. We're to dress different, look different, act different. And even when it comes to worship, then Jehovah's Witnesses are different. They don't refer to their places of worship as churches. It's a kingdom hall. They look different. They don't have all the stained glass and all the paraphernalia that goes with lots of Christian churches. They don't have pews. Their seating and the internal structure is very different. And they don't pass the donation plate. All of these different things Jehovah's Witnesses were proud of, because they said that that made them very, very separate to Christendom, as they called it. However, in recent years, Jehovah's Witnesses are looking more and more like those churches that they say they don't want to be like. And this is one classic example with their choirs. Jehovah's Witnesses now have choirs that sing hymns, albeit their own hymns. They are looking just like regular choirs in churches, and they're even going one step further. I think they're trying to emulate some of the non-denominational charismatic churches, and I believe in a few years' time you're going to see them having their own Tasha Cobbs and people like that, but or maybe not, but I just noticed how they were getting quite funky with their moves, and you know, they've got all that hand movement, that body movement going, and what was all of that going on? They're even sitting around in circles doing all of these moves. It's almost like they're conjuring up some kind of spirit out of the earth as they sit around in circles. All very strange, but yeah, I just found that it was interesting that they were being subjected to watching a video of the choir and their dance moves. Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses are getting groovy. So here in England, we have a program called Songs of Praise. So I'm going to keep my eye out, because you never know, we might see them turning up on that program. The Kingdom Choir maybe, or Jehovah's Choir, who knows? We might see them still. And a clip that I found online is of the governing body even leading the choir, which I thought was very interesting. Let's now get into the drama, the main body of the convention session. So there's just a couple of points that I want to pull out from the drama. So let's have a little look.
It was now Tishrei, the start of a month-long festival.
So go, eat the choice things, and drink what is sweet, and send portion to those who have nothing. And do not feel sad, for the joy of Jehovah is your stronghold.
We followed Jehovah's instructions to observe the festival of booths. We spent days rejoicing and giving thanks for Jehovah's blessing.
So Jehovah's Witnesses are renowned the world over for not getting involved in celebrations. If most people will have heard of Jehovah's Witnesses, and one thing that they know about Jehovah's Witnesses is that they don't celebrate birthdays or Christmases. Now, I just found that it was really interesting that in this drama, the opening scenes, we have Nehemiah telling God's people that they are to celebrate the month-long festival of Tishrei and also another festival of booths. And they are to enjoy those festivals and to eat and drink and even share what they have with other people in the community. Now, I found that particularly interesting because Jehovah's Witnesses are always quick to say that they follow the Bible and everything that they do is based on the Bible. Well, if that's the case, then why are they not celebrating festivals and birthdays and other events that the community celebrates? I just found it particularly strange that Jehovah's Witnesses refused to get involved in these celebrations, where clearly Nehemiah was telling God's people that they should celebrate and get involved. And did you notice the face of the kids? The kids were just so happy to know that they can just have a party and celebrate, not like Jehovah's Witnesses today, or when I was growing up and weren't allowed to get involved in any celebrations and had to sit outside the classroom, made to feel like a freak because I couldn't get involved in celebrating Christmas and birthdays and Easter and all of these other things. So I just thought that that was an interesting point I wanted to pull out.
Like Nehemiah, we might encounter opposers who scheme to bring our loyal service to a halt.
So for an organisation that claims to be God's representative on earth, they are awfully defensive. Now, they seem these days to be spending a lot of time and energy being critical of people who leave the organisation, i.e. the apostates. They have a lot of time to be talking about these ones. Shouldn't they be uplifting people and spreading their good news rather than constantly talking about the apostates? And the fact that they are talking about the apostates so much really goes to demonstrate that they are worried. They are seriously worried, and they're seriously concerned that the apostates are exposing them. Because seriously, if you have nothing to worry about, then people who are supposedly speaking half-truths about you, you're just going to dismiss. You're just going to dismiss them as nonsense, and you're going to carry on about your business. But these days, Jehovah's Witnesses cannot seem to deliver a talk or a morning worship or write something in their magazines without talking about the apostates, giving a warning to their members to avoid the apostates and not listen to them. They are seriously worried about the apostates speaking truths and uncovering their lies.
Opposers also spread false accusations against us. In some lands, we're accused of posing a threat to the state. Some accusations have been successfully rebutted in court. But whatever the outcome, we're confident that Jehovah will direct matters according to His will. Opposition may also come from those who pretend to serve Jehovah. Just as a fellow Jew tried to get Nehemiah to break God's law to save his life, so former witnesses may try to get us to compromise in one way or another.
So here, whilst he's sitting in his expensive $3,500 leather chair, wearing his fine suit, he gives a warning about opposers spreading false accusations. Well, what are these false accusations, Samuel Hurd? What are they? And what are these false accusations that have been successfully rebutted in court? Again, this is just one of Jehovah's Witnesses' tactics. They're very broad brush, very light, without any depth, and they make these sweeping statements to the deceived, and the deceived will just soak it all up without asking questions, because if he's going to say that, then where is his evidence to back it up? So very weak argument.
However, we reject apostates because we know that our lives are saved, not by breaking God's laws, but by keeping them.
A very important point is Samuel Hurd says, and I quote, "Our lives are saved by keeping God's laws."
However, we reject apostates because we know that our lives are saved, not by breaking God's laws, but by keeping them.
Now, I'm no Bible scholar. I don't profess to be a Bible scholar. And in fact, when I started to wake up from the Watchtower lies, I completely lost my faith. And I'm on a personal journey to try and regain my faith. And I have been reading my Bible. And one of the things that the Bible clearly states in several places is that we're saved by God's grace. So Acts chapter 16, 80 to 81 says, that to be saved, you must believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. And Romans chapter 10, verse 9 to 10 says that if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. And Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8 tells us, for it is by grace that you have been saved. So again, more destructive, evil and wicked lies from Samuel Hurd and his colleagues in the governing body at Watchtower. We are not saved, as he says, by keeping God's laws. The Bible doesn't say that. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. I even Googled it, and nowhere in the Bible does it say that, but rather it says by believing in Jesus and by faith and by grace that we are saved. So it's a small point, but a very, very important point, because again, many Jehovah's Witnesses who are completely deceived would just soak that up, wouldn't even stop to think about it, probably wouldn't even turn to their Bibles and read it for themselves. They would just believe him. And that's why this organisation, the Jehovah's Witnesses organisation, is an incredibly dangerous organisation. It's dangerous because people are so mind controlled. They will believe what is being said by a governing body member, by the leaders, and not even question it for themselves. So, a small point, but an important point. We are saved by God's grace. Okay, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you've not done it already, then please hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell, because next week I will be uploading the final part of my review of the 2020 convention, which is Sunday afternoon, part 2. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for bearing with me, and for commenting. I love to read your comments. So, and I also encourage you to read all the comments as well, because you know, you guys make such fantastic points in the comment section below. Okay, guys, that's it from me. I will see you on another video. Take care now.